Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Perfect Storm Trading YouTube channel. It is Wednesday, the 13th of October. Starting out today, we'll recap what we put out yesterday in the morning for the timing window. We came on early. I think it was before 6. We were in this area right here. We had the low come in the green window, and then we marked out the white window and the key turning points in that window. So if you'll notice this, we got a turn at the beginning of the window. We went down into our first trigger, which triggered a long trade, as our expectation here was to get a high at this point. Then I had the smaller red rectangle marked out inside the larger one, where we had some indicators coming together in that time, and that ended up being the high of the day there at about 8:30 in the morning. We made another high on our next timing trigger, which at this point now you are looking short. You go in the opposite direction that the market traded in coming into the timing triggers. So that set off a good short trade. We rallied back up into the next timing trigger here, which triggered another short. Didn't go far there. We kind of made a little double bottom around 43.39 at that point. The next trigger triggered another short. That didn't go anywhere either, really. It would have been a scratch trade, and then we rallied back to make a double tap at the end of the window. We double tapped, setting up another short trade, and that is what set off the good down move for the day. Just a comment regarding market structure. The market moves in wave patterns of 3, 5, 7 and usually max out at 9. You don't get very many times where you're going to get more than a 9 wave pattern. That's an up and down pattern going in. Like coming off the morning low yesterday, we made the low. We got our first swing up, wave 2 correction, wave 3 up, an ABC, fourth wave down, a fifth wave up, a sixth wave down, and then we culminate at the seventh wave where the trend turns. When you're swinging in this manner, and then we went down, you can see we made an A, B, C wave down, and then what could have been a fourth wave up was abbreviated and couldn't take out this low here. So what does that tell you? Now you've got a low, high, and then you've got an inside low and high that came right after that last wave. So now you're trading inside of that swing. That's an indication that you have to really be careful if you're thinking about the next signal, because now you've got another low and we move up to this trigger point into a lower high. That's really not a good signal to take, because the market is forming a triangling pattern there. So you want to be trading clean swing patterns when you can see them. And in this case, this was obvious here that this was an inside move trigger, and you don't really want to be taking that signal. Your better signal is when you make this high at the end of the window and you get this triple top. You're at a major resistance point and you have a trend trigger. That's the ideal setup, which sets off this really nice trade. To show you what I'm talking about here, we got this high comes down to this low. Now we've got a high here. I'm going to take the rectangle out just so you can see it clearer. Okay, so now we make a high behind that. We make a low on our timing trigger point, but it's a higher low. Then we make a high, it's a lower high. And then we make a higher low inside of this swing. Everything happening in here takes place inside of this swing. We get our timing point right in the center of the triangle. Not a good risk-reward type of a pattern. You can see this, the way this is forming. I'll just draw trend lines to show the triangle. It's a kind of thing that you really don't want to take a signal inside of that kind of a mess. If anything, you would take a breakout trade in a situation where you're getting a consolidation, whether that be a box consolidation or a triangle consolidation. Anyhow, I just wanted to make a couple of comments on that. Your experienced traders are already going to know that, but a lot of newer traders might not understand that. Let's move on and take a look at what's coming up today. So we've got one key window today. It's going to take place between about 8:30 and about 11:30. Key area being the beginning of the window here, around 8:40, and then we have the green block in the A1 panel, which will probably be an important point at about 11:03. Bringing in the Astro Excel, we have this pattern coming up. You can see this is the 30-minute Astro Excel. We're in a little bit of a flat here. We're coming into a timing trigger. We have a little bit of cross current. The market has been following the blue line since the high of yesterday. It's been tracking the blue line a little bit more than the green line. So we've got this cross current, but then when the blue line makes its low here about 9:13, both of the patterns are in sync. Then we go high up to a high point at 11. Remember the Vedic window at the green block was our 11:03 time. So this could be an important point for a potential high here if we continue to trade up. We've got downward pressure, both lines in sync till about 1:52 this afternoon. Then the blue line bottoms. The green is already turned up. The blue line bottoms about 2:38. Both lines are up in sync to the close. So that's what we're looking at today. Some key times inside the window that I marked out were about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and then 10:57. Those are 30-minute bars. So you want to take a look at the rainbow and pH to get the specific time in those zones. The video's getting a little long. I'm not going to do that now, but you get the idea. We will see you Thursday.